Hey everybody, welcome back to another awesome Creative Daily Challenge. I am Jesus Ramirez. How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. I see a lot of people in the chat already that I recognize. I see Sean, Valentine, Anna, Noor, a whole bunch of people. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Yeah, somebody's asking, who is this? Sig is asking, are we live? Yes, we're live now. Sorry about that, guys. You might notice that I don't have my laptop in front of me. I was having some technical issues. I have my desktop. No worries. We're all ready to go. Oh no, the virus got Jesus. No, but the virus hasn't gotten me. Hopefully it doesn't get me. Thank you so much for your concern, Mia. Oh, we got Alberto with his what's up. I always look forward to seeing that. Every time I'm in the chat, I can see Alberto saying hello with his trademark greeting. Carmen, Anna, hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy to be here. It's Monday morning and it's time for another 2 weeks of the Daily Creative Challenge where we're going to learn a lot of Photoshop skills. You're going to learn how to create composites. We're going to do photography. We're going to do design. We're going to do a sports poster. We have a total of 9 challenges that are going to start today, which is, I believe it's March 16th. And it will go on until Friday, the 27th of March. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Let me show you how all this is going to work. First of all, make sure that you go into, let me switch my screen over, into behance.net/live/ I'm sorry, not live. That's actually the page to watch the stream live. But what I want to show you guys is behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, which will take you into this awesome page where you can click on this big blue button that says, hi, Jesus, and in your page, it'll have your name. Take the challenge. If you don't see your name, that means you're not logged in. So make sure that you log into your Adobe ID so you can click on this blue button and you can receive daily notifications for the Daily Creative Challenge through your Daily Creative Cloud app. So make sure that you do that. And of course, we're going to be working with Adobe Photoshop for this. And how does it work? Well, each day you'll receive a challenge. Tomorrow we're going to be working with a pet poster. And this poster is going to unlock tomorrow on the 17th. You'll see a button here where you can download the file to work with. It's going to be a portrait of a pet. We're going to use my cat. Some of you probably have seen it on the previous challenge with Claudia from Print My Soul. She used my cat, Mr. Meow. We're going to use Mr. Meow again for a pet portrait. So make sure that you stick around for that tomorrow. And let me just quickly look at the chat. It says that I look a little grayish. Oh, it's probably, again, we were having some technical difficulty with one of these cables and it's probably what caused the issue. Sorry about that, Noor. Hopefully we can get it worked out tomorrow. But anyway, let me see if there's any other questions. Cool. So what we're gonna be working on these challenges, and we're gonna work on them until March the 27th. And also make sure that you join the community chat. So when you click on this button, you'll go into the Discord app. That is really important. And that's where you're gonna get to leave feedback. That's where you're gonna upload the work that you create with me. You need to log in, accept the invite, but I already have a login account. That's weird. Let me just click on accept invite and see what happens. But anyway, so once you logged into Discord, you're gonna be able to see there you go. I'm logged in. You're gonna be able to see on the left-hand side these different channels where you can do different things. For example, the most important one, at least for this particular challenge, is the current challenge tab here on the left-hand side. And actually, I'm covering that up. So let me move it over. I'm gonna move myself over to the right side. And actually, there we go. I'm on the right now. And from that challenge page, right here, current challenge, you're going to be able to upload your work. You can actually see some of the work that we were working on last week with Claudia from Print My Soul. You can see all the awesome work that you guys made. This was a really fun challenge number 7, where Claudia sliced up a single photo to create a 2-row Instagram posts type of thing. I think you guys probably have seen them before when you go into somebody's Instagram account and then you have those 6 images that kind of make up one photo. So she showed how to do that, so you can check that out if you haven't already. But anyway, this is where you're gonna need to come in and upload the work that you create with me, and make sure that you are in Discord for that to happen. Also, very important, on the right hand side you'll see all the Adobe mentors and the Adobe staff. You'll see Tim, Claudia, me, Gus is there sometimes, Paco, everyone. So check it out. And if you want to look at some of the past challenges, you'll see them here. We have design portfolio reviews, so you can upload your work here for portfolio reviews, ask a question. So it's a really, really important asset to the Creative Challenge. Make sure that you subscribe to Discord now if you haven't already. Once again, from the behance.net/challenge/Photoshop page, you can click on this link here that says Community Chat. Also, you can go on that link right above my head, right there. So yeah. And the other thing I want to mention for this Daily Creative Challenge is, of course, we're going to be using Photoshop. So if you don't have Photoshop, the latest version of Photoshop, I'm going to be working with Photoshop 2020, which is currently the latest version of Photoshop. If you don't have that, you can get the latest version of Photoshop here where it says download Photoshop. It's going to open up a Photoshop page, and from here you can download the application. And actually, if you're interested in getting Photoshop, you can just click on the Buy Now button, and you're gonna see that it's $39.99 a month. But if you want just Photoshop, like maybe you don't want the other applications, you only want to work with Photoshop, you don't necessarily have to get the $39.99 a month subscription. You can click on See All Creative Cloud Plans, and you can go into Individual, and you can get the photography plan right here, the photography plan, and download the $9.99 a month version. So that is right here under Individual, and let me go back and show you where that was. That was, if you go onto the Daily Creative Challenge page and you scroll down, you can click on Download Photoshop and scroll down until it says Buy Now, and once again click on See All Creative Cloud Plans, and under Individuals you'll see the $9.99 photography plan. So that's $9 for Photoshop. So if you want to get Photoshop, that is an awesome resource there for you. Also, let me just look at the chat and see if there's any questions. What software is used for these Adobe Live sessions? It was cool that Jesus was able to switch sides of the screen. What software is used for this? Oh, I'm guessing the question is what software I'm using. I know that different people use different software. I'm using OBS to record the screen. I think that was the question. So, Jeremy, I hope I answered your question. Yeah, any other questions? Jason, yeah, Mr. Meow. Yep, he's gonna be again here tomorrow. So that's who we're gonna be working with. Yeah, Mr. Meow's a rock star. Yeah, he is. Jennifer, he is very adorable, but he could also be very annoying, Jennifer. But yeah, so before we continue, I want to show you a couple things. Let me just make sure that I covered everything I need to cover before we jump into like our first little mini challenge. This is not really a challenge. This is not going to be in the area where you unlock challenges. You're not going to find this here. Our first official challenge will be tomorrow, which is the 17th of March. So today what I'm going to show you is a couple Photoshop things just to get you started so that tomorrow we can hit the ground running and we can start with our first creative challenge using Mr. Meow for a pet portrait. But today I do have a couple Photoshop things I want to show you. So let me just bring up Photoshop, and here it is. I have Photoshop here on this side, so I'm going to be looking to the left a little bit. And what I wanted to show you guys is just a couple things just to help you get started so that you guys could follow along with me a little easier. And then we're going to create a quick graphic so that we can put into our Behance page. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to just start out by going into the drop-down menu here, and I'm going to select the Essentials workspace just so that I have all my panels basically set to default. And actually, if I really want to set them to default, I can click on this down pointing arrow and click on Reset Essentials. So now this is really, really default. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and just close the Learn panel, because I'm not going to need it for the challenge, but I think you should check it out. The Learn panel has a bunch of tutorials that you can use for different things. So if you're a beginner, the Learn panel is very important. However, I'm not, just to have some real estate to work with, to have some space to work with, I'm going to close it, but it's an important panel if you're learning Photoshop, because there's a whole bunch of tutorials that you can follow. But anyway, so I'm going to close the Learn panel because I'm not going to need it, and I will need the Libraries panel, so I'll leave that there. And I'm not going to use the Adjustments panel because these little icons I can open from the new Adjustment Layer icon. So I'm just going to close it because I'm going to use them from this icon here at the bottom. But the Libraries panel, I'm going to click and drag up onto the top panel there, and when you see that section highlighted in blue, that means that Photoshop will nest the panel that I'm holding onto that group of panels. So when I release, you'll see that it will nest on there. So I can scale this up. And now I basically have two panels, a set of panels. One set of panels on top, one set of panels on the bottom. And that just gives me more room to work with and makes things easier for you to see. So that's how I'm going to be working. If you want to save this workspace so that you always see what I see, you can go on this down pointing arrow once again, and you can click on New Workspace, and you can set it to, we'll just call it Adobe Live or Daily Creative Challenge, DCC. That'll be our DCC panel. And I can click on Save. So now if I move my panels around and, you know, really mess them up, I can always come back and select my DCC workspace and hit Reset DCC, and I can always get them back. So I'm gonna work with this group of panels during these this DCC, so that way you could follow along with me and you know what panels are. And if I use a panel that's not open, you'll see me go into Window and open the corresponding panel. So what I'll do now is show you another thing that I like doing, which is, let me just open up a new document, and I'm going to use a 1920 by 1080 document, 72 RGB color mode. I like to work with the Adobe RGB color profile, and I'll click on Create. And notice that when I create a new layer, the layer is highlighted in blue. I like making my layers blue, or the highlights blue, so that they're easy for me to see and for you to see as I'm working. If you want that to happen on your version of Photoshop, all you need to do is press Control K on Windows, Command K on the Mac to bring up the Preferences panel, and from Interface you can just select blue. So by default is gray. You can see the gray here, how that looks, but now I could switch this over into blue and it turns into blue, of course. So I'm just gonna leave that there. And actually, now that we're here, let me show you guys. You guys probably know that these icons here change the color theme, but if you hold Shift and Alt, they will switch over into toast. And if you hold Alt and Control, which is Command and Option on a Mac, you'll turn them into coffee. So Shift, Command, Shift, Control, and then Control Alt to switch them into toast and coffee. The icons don't do anything. They're just little hidden Easter eggs. And you guys probably have seen the other hidden Easter egg inside of Photoshop, which is the banana tool. If you go into Edit Toolbar and the three-dot icon here, you can hold Shift and click on Done, and you'll add a banana into your toolbar. That's a little Easter egg that the Adobe engineers hid inside of Photoshop, and you can use this little Easter egg to freak out a friend when they go to the bathroom, or one of your classmates if you're in school. When they leave the computer, you can just do that to put a banana in the toolbar and freak them out. And to remove it, you need to hold Alt on Windows, Option on the Mac, and click on Done. But I think I'm going to use the banana tool for this challenge, so I'll just leave it there. So make sure that you add the banana tool into Photoshop. But anyway, we have like 3 minutes, and I wanted to create something for you guys to upload onto the Behance, and so you guys know how to do that, because I'm gonna just keep a Behance page where I'm gonna upload all the projects that I work on for this DCC. So we're just gonna make one super quick. It doesn't have to be super amazing. You can make an amazing one if you want. For me, it's just gonna be sort of like a title card, something that just lets people know what this is all about. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna delete all these layers by hitting the delete key. And I'm gonna go into the gradients panel, and I'm just gonna select one of the gradients in this blue folder, and I'll select a gradient. Let me just drag one in there. And once you have one in there, you can click on the other ones and see what they look like. So you can select the one that best looks to your eye. I'll probably go with this dark blue one. And then with the horizontal type tool, I'm going to select the Montserrat font and I'll make it black and I'll just call it Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. And you guys spell check me because I'm terrible at spelling, so I'm probably gonna misspell something. So I better keep an eye on the chat in case I misspell something. But anyway, Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge, and then the date. So it's March 16th to March 27th. Friday the 27th will be the last challenge, challenge number 9. And then the date, I'll just select a maybe light font like so. And here's a super cool trick for you. Notice how I kind of created the text off to the side a little bit. If you want to center this onto the canvas, it's very easy. All you need to do is press Control A on Windows, Command A on the Mac, and on the options bar, you're gonna see these alignment tools. So if I hit on this middle one, it'll align it vertically, and this one will align it horizontally. So that is how you can center something on your page. So now that it's centered, I can, maybe save it. So I can save it a lot of different ways. I can go to Control Alt Shift S, which is what I'm used to. The new method is by going into Filter, Export, Export As. For something like this, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm just so used to using Photoshop a certain way that I always bring up the old Save As command, but you can export the new one. So you can click on Export. And look, we have Mr. Meow. Some of these photos we're going to use for tomorrow's challenge. But anyway, I'm just going to call it DCC. I'll save it. And oops, I meant to save that on my desktop. Actually, I already have a DCC folder, so I'll just save it in there. And I'll make sure I'll call it DCC. Save it in there, cancel it. And we have about 1 minute. So I need to make sure that I upload this onto Behance in that minute. So once you're in Behance, you can go into create a project, and from create a project, I'm just going to upload a file, and then I'm going to find my DCC folder, and I'm going to upload that DCC file in there. There it is. It looks awesome. I can press on continue, and you can see that this will be my cover preview, and I can maybe zoom in just to make it a little bit larger, and we can work with this. And I can just call this Daily Creative Challenge. I can click on crop and continue, and you can select obviously Photoshop for the software and all that sort of good stuff that you see on there. But the most important thing to do is under discoverability, make sure that you use the hashtag, which is, let me make sure I get it right. The hashtag is PS Daily Challenge. PS Daily Challenge. Anyway. So make sure that you check me out on Behance. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. All right, guys, thanks so much. Bye.